All right, we'll get started here. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Ascension Network. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm really excited to begin 2021 with a new intention. And that is to bring you daily tune in messages. And these tune in messages, let me just get rid of this because it's going to be distracting for me to have myself staring back at me on the screen. Sorry, guys, just give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. So these daily tune in messages are going to be an opportunity for us to tune in to the frequency of the day. And if you know me, you know that I'm always talking about energy. I'm talking about the frequency in which we operate, because the frequency at which we operate is the energy, the vibration of the energy in which we live and we operate in and we create from, which also means create life from. So if we are attempting to go through our day pulling from energy that is overwhelmed or anxious energy or depressed energy, what we create is creating from that place. And when we start to become aware and tune in more and more and more to our energies, we then tune into we tune into and become aware of more often, what am I creating from today? In what frequency am I creating from? And it is our work as spiritual beings here on this planet to operate from a high level of frequency, because when we are at a high level of frequency, that means we are experiencing life expansive emotions like bliss, peace, joy, love. We are optimistic, we're willing, we're courageous. And those are the emotions, and that is the vibration that we want to be creating our life from, whether we're going to work or whether we're parenting. No matter what we're doing, we are pulling in that which resonates with our frequency. Therefore, with the world being where it is, we have a lot of people operating out of fear and anger and scarcity. And these are these life constricting emotions. So when we have a collective that is operating from that space, that then becomes a scary thing for me, because I understand what is created from those places of fear or life constricting emotions. And that is the same thing that's not working. So my job here on earth, my work is, oh shoot, I'm sorry, I'm hitting my microphone, I'm getting so excited. My job here is to help our collective pull ourselves up into these higher vibrational energies, so that as we walk into this new age of Aquarius, and as we walk into this new time, economically and politically, and this new time in our souls, our evolutionary journey as humans and as spiritual beings, we want to be in tuned with the frequency at which we are operating. So there's frequencies, our collective frequency. There's also the frequencies that are brought into our planet from the cosmic realm. And I'm not talking about like the spiritual cosmic realm. There's energies come from that, and there's frequencies that also come from astrologically and from space, from outer space. We're dealing with that. We're dealing with all of the complexities of human life and the frequencies in which are all, that's all operating from. So we've got a lot of frequencies that we need to manage. And when we start to tune into them each day as a collective, we start to see themes. What is the theme of today? Why is it that I should be tuning into, or what should I be tuning into today more so than maybe tomorrow? We're going to tune into something completely different tomorrow. So this is the idea, and the intent is not mine. It is coming through me. It's channeling through me. to really use my skill set, my psychic skill sets, as well as my energetic skill set to tune into frequencies and be able to translate them for you from, you know, a higher consciousness who that has collectively has a much bigger scope on what is happening in our physical world and our spiritual world. And when those messages come through, I do use cards. I use cards, different ones, sometimes tarot cards, sometimes just other divination cards. I might use fun little tools like crystals and sage or whatever. You know, we're going to play here. It's going to be fun to tune into every day, Monday through Friday. And who knows, maybe I'll just, because I love doing these, maybe I will be here 7 days a week. I have no idea. I'm not going to set a specific time because messages don't come through at a specific time every day. And when I am called to do this, I will sit down and give you the message that's coming through me in that moment. Therefore, because I can't tell you I'm going to be here every day at a certain time, I recommend subscribing to our YouTube channel and also clicking on the notification so you know when we go live. And all of these will also be posted in my online Ascension Network community. And that is a place for all of us souls who understand what is happening, are on this ascension journey, to consistently keep raising our consciousnesses, keep raising our frequencies, keep raising our our vibration, so that we can help our whole entire planet ascend into higher levels of being. That is where we are communing, and that is at the Ascension Network. So you can learn more on the description on this video. So thanks for being here. This is the very first one. So you'll probably see this evolve quite a bit. But I do want to share a little bit about my space, because it's a big part of me being here right now. And when we found this home a couple of years ago, my husband, he wasn't my husband at the time, but he is now. My husband and I were so excited about this space because it's our home. It's a tree house. It's in Austin, Texas for now. I mean, the tree house is going to stay here, but we're not. But Austin has been our home, and we found this home and in a really great neighborhood and exactly where we wanted to be. It was the perfect manifestation for our family. And the added benefit of it was it had this extra room. They couldn't call it a bedroom, obviously, because it doesn't have a closet, but it became our studio. And we had art, we have artwork. I mean, if you look around here, it's art and canvases and stuff everywhere. And as I started to really hone in and clarify my healing practice and really get focused in on what is it that I'm bringing to this world as a healer, because right now I want to be focused on that being my main purpose every day, because our world is in a place where people are really feeling dis-ease. And what I know, as a behavioral sciences geek, a hypnotherapist, a coach, I mean, I have all the certifications, all the things, right, that really boil down to, I understand at the root of all disease starts with this dis-ease. The dis-ease of our emotional selves, of our energetic selves. And when we get our energetic selves healthy, emotionally, we feel healthy, we start to rise up. We start to rise up this ladder. And when we get to these places, that's when disease becomes less susceptible to our bodies. So my goal with all of this stuff going around, all the virus and all of that stuff, my goal is to help people get healthier. And it first starts, I'm not going to take you out and make you run or like put you through a boot camp. I'm going to help you feel better. I'm going to help you just ease your emotions a little bit. That way we can pivot a little bit on how you look at the thing. Then we pull back and we look at the whole thing, the whole issue that's causing you dis-ease. And in one pivot, in one session, we change just how you feel in that moment. And the moment you rise up a little bit in your vibration, new solutions come. Things start to open up a little bit. And that is what we're here to do. we're here to open up your perspective each day on what is going on. And I wanted a space to be able to do this that's sacred, that I didn't have to like move around because my family's moving around. So I'm in our art studio. It is now, you know, the daily tune-in studio. It's if you're OCD, I'm gonna drive you crazy because I've got like weird, you know, you can see the end of my sheet back there, and there's paneling on the wall, and the middle of the sheets came here. But that's who I am. I'm messy with this kind of stuff because this is what's really important. It's really important. And I wanted you to feel this space and feel from my heart how sacred this is. And I have all, you know, my sacred things here with me and you so that we can tune into these frequencies and have it be imperfect, because life is imperfect, but the perfection comes with how we respond and how we react to the world outside of us and our world inside of us. Therefore, this place is sacred. It's messy. It's a little off, but for now, it's what it is, and I'm okay with it. So let's get into the message for today. This week, or not this week, but today, I just felt like using these starseed cards. I think they're the sweetest cards. And to give you a little background on how I work, you know, these tune-ins are based on my hypnotherapy techniques. That's based on life coaching. It's based on all the things that I've kind of summarized into a left brain explanation to how I then tune into the unseen, which is the energies. So I know that everything starts, we all know that everything starts with an intention, with an idea, with a thought, right? So that thought, that original thought, not the headaches of our mind or the thoughts of our mind. These are the original idea of our souls come from a creative spiritual place, spiritual mind is what I call it, the spiritual mind. So if you imagine, we're going to have three different realms of energy that we're tuning into. We're going to tune into the spiritual. What is the original idea of the day? What are we tuning into? What's the intention of the day as far as our awareness on energy? From there, we also are every day managing our heart mind, how we feel. And how we feel, our heart space, is the portal between the spiritual and between the manifestation in the physical world. Therefore, we have to really pay attention to how we feel every single moment of every single day, because how we feel determines how close this intention is going to manifest in its truest form when it gets into the physical. Okay, so if we have an intention and we're feeling a lot of fear, the outcome is probably going to be a lesser version than the original idea, because it's kind of going through the filter of fear to get into the world. So we're going to manifest probably something that's below our desired results. Give me 1 second, guys. My old pickle jar. That's how we do it in Texas. We use our pickle jars for water because the regular mason jars aren't big enough. So if we have an intention and we're tuning in to our heart, and we know that we are in these higher vibrations of being in that day, you can rest assured that what shows up in that day is going to be a truer sense of, or an exact reflection or manifestation of what the original idea was. So what is our goal for today? I'm going to start with just our main idea, our main intention to pay attention to as we go through the rest of the tune-in. So today we're tuning into, oh, nice. This is a great one. Prosperity. Look at that symbol. And it says a prosperous business with riches and success. Yeah, this is a really sweet one. And if you don't know, I don't even know if I told you my name. I'm Vidette Mayer, in case you haven't yet figured that out. And I have every Wednesday in the Ascension Network, I do an abundance code activation, and it's very similar to what I'm doing here, but we tune into the frequency of abundance. So I love that prosperity is coming out on our very, very first daily tune-in. So let's see what we have to learn about prosperity. I'm actually going to put it right down here. Yeah. Okay. Tuning into all of our guides, tuning into highlight beings, beings of light, beings of the highest vibration. Whoop, that one wants to come out. Oh, you guys, this is like, you can see, this is why I use cards. I don't, just to explain as I shuffle and kind of get things in place here. The interesting thing about cards is all the ideas that people have about them. And for me, what I tend to do when I have messages coming in, I use them as confirmation almost in the physical realm that what I'm, it's kind of like using them as a filter. So it's almost as if when a message comes in, I want to make sure this heart filter is real clean and clear. And typically I am because I practice that every single day. I practice energetic cleansing and clearing every single day. Therefore, when I get messages, they feel pretty true to me. But in order to have that final confirmation in the physical, I'll pick a card and it usually will confirm, or if it's completely off of what I was believing, I might have to take it further. But it's just for me just to make sure that I am translating exactly the frequency of the message that's coming through, and I'm not distorting it in any way. So what I'm going to do is just place 6 cards on here, and we will walk through them. Lots of earth energy coming in. Oh, okay. I love these cards. It's interesting because it's a new year, right? 2021. Oh, this is going to be a beautiful reading. I can already feel it. I can already tell. But 2021, has started out, we're kind of taking the energy of 2020 into 2021. And no matter how much we want to not take it in, we still do. We still have a lot of residual energies in our physical realm, in our spiritual realm, in consciousness that we are still adjusting to. And we have moved into the age of Aquarius. We have moved into the first time in Earth's planetary history that we are able to open up the 5D vibration here on Earth in the physical. So there's a lot of stuff going on. And yet the first intention, okay, so this is the idea from a greater mind for a higher consciousness. What is the idea for today? What is the main topic? What is the intention for us to work on? And it is a new Earth. And if you've been around for any amount of time, you keep hearing the terms. I know that I say the Ascension Network is co-creating a new existence in the new Earth. The new Earth is happening. Keep holding the vision. So here's confirmation. If you keep reading about the new Earth, or you follow people on social media and they're like, hashtag new Earth, and this is really an exciting time. We are in, we're always in history, but especially now we are in astrological history. We're in, for here in the US, we are, actually in the whole globe, we are in a global transition of economics and political power, and everything is shifting. We see it in front of us. And I know our minds want to say, your minds want to go, oh, we're in such chaos, we're in danger, we need to be in fear, We're telling you, like, what's coming through is we're telling you, you don't fear. This is the new Earth being birthed. And birth, whether you've been through it or not, birth is messy. It is messy in all aspects. And if you're anything like me, I've had 2 kids, and the first question I asked the first time I got pregnant was, do you really poop when you give birth? And my doctor and I laughed, and she said, most people do. It's the most humbling, messy, embarrassing, chaotic, scary, and yet freaking beautiful process, birth. And as a collective, as a global collective, we are birthing a new Earth. So it's going to be freaking messy. Allow it to be messy. Allow yourself to be messy. Forgive yourself. Stop shaming yourself for not being productive enough, for not doing enough. What would be the first thing you would say to a pregnant woman who is tired and about to give birth? You would say to her, go sit, relax. Let's prop your feet up. Let me do something for you. So as we, as a collective, birth a new world, I am giving to you that same advice. I don't give advice. I'm giving you that same suggestion because you have to choose it. It's okay to stop and rest and put your legs up, put your feet up. Allow somebody to serve you so that you then can be filled enough to then turn around and serve someone else whose day it is to simply just stop and put their feet up. The new earth it is happening. And if you know it, then you feel safe. You feel more secure. You feel more courageous. But if you don't know this is happening and you look out your window and you see the world as you know it falling apart, I can understand that it's really scary. And I'm here to tell you to tune in every single day here. Whether it's on live or whether it's on the recording, tune in here. Because this is where you're going to feel safe. This is where you're going to be reminded that a new earth is being birthed. And we're a really, really, really big planet. It takes a little bit to birth something. So it's going to be messy for a while, but we're being reminded today that it's being birthed and it's okay. And then when we go into our hearts and how do we feel, it says baby steps. Action, follow your intuition before it makes sense. Okay. So if you take a look at this, baby steps, we are literally walking through a portal into this new earth. And when we walk into anything new, I don't know if you're about like anything like me, but when I go into a room that I know I don't really know what's on the other side of that door, I'm a little nervous. And opening that door and walking through and seeing all the people that came to this same place, I don't know anybody. But I also know that everyone else is a little bit insecure too. I might be feeling a little bit anxious. And what I also know about myself is, as a spiritual being, you don't like me, you don't like, we don't resonate. So I tune in and I use my intuition to walk through and find the places I have to be and the people I have to meet and the places I have to go. So how I do that when I walk into a conference or whatever, you've all been there. You've all been in that time where you're like, I gotta go walk through that door and there's a lot of people on their side. I don't really know what I'm walking into. And as an adult, you have to go. As adults, we've got to go into this new earth, or we have to stay. We have to choose to stay in the chaos and identify with that. But I know for sure that puts me in full on fear. The fear of living in a world that looks like it does right now scares the piss out of me. So I'm not choosing that. I'm going to choose to walk through and be brave, walk through that door and say, okay, what's this new earth thing all about? And who decided to come? Am I the only weird one? Or, okay, no, I'm not. And I use my intuition and I just walk. Like, who am I drawn to? Where am I drawn to go? What am I interested in learning more about? Okay. And that then directs me in that big conference room, so to speak, to then use my eyes. Okay. I know how I feel. I know what kind of person I'm looking for. Now, when I use my eyes, who am I zooming into? So I'm on zooming into, and then using the intuition. Because when we gently use our intuition in a time of birthing, we will know then to feel into, it's going to be a gentle rise in our energy, in our frequency, because we are tuning into the heart area, the heart mind. And when we tune in, we're like, I would love to meet someone, or I would love to create something that feels like this. And then you start looking around in your world and you find the thing that you are drawn to. That then helps your heart feel baby steps, a little bit lighter. And then you do that. And then you say, okay, now I would love to have a meal that just tastes, refreshing and feels like nourishing my body. And I want to feel light afterwards. And then you tune into, how do you want to feel for your next meal? And then you go to the refrigerator and you're going to find all the things that resonate with that idea, because it's the idea of loving your lunch. Okay. You also want to pay attention to the feeling of, okay, I want something for lunch that's, this, and this. And then you end up pulling out something that's kind of heavier. There's a filter there that's stopping you from actually manifesting the very thing that you really want, which is to feel something that nourishes your body and you feel light afterwards. So it's really, really important today that you're paying attention to taking baby steps in elevating your frequency little by little, by doing the intuitive nudges that take you through your day, rather than thinking that you have to plan it. Because as you know, in birth, you can't plan birth. You can't be like, this kid's coming out at 3 p.m. because I got to be somewhere at 5, right? It doesn't work that way. And neither does birthing a new earth. I don't know how long this is going to take. I've never been through this. I can't speak from that place. I don't know if it takes a month. I don't know if it takes centuries. We're talking about the planet Earth. So I don't know how long this process is. But while we're in it, while we're birthing it, can we all just pay attention to how we feel? And if we are feeling like crap down here and we're angry and we're in fear, and then we go to the grocery store, can you just pay attention to how you're feeling, so that you don't take your fear out on me by not paying attention, or by appearing rude when you're so in your own fear you don't realize you just cut me off at the cart? This is what we're being called to do, is pay attention to how we feel, so that we can elevate little by little by little by little. And that then helps the whole collective, become less and less jerks and start to get better and better and better and better. And that's how our earth is birthed, by you paying attention to how you feel, and then how do you respond to how you feel out in the world. Right? Are you spreading more fear by being closed down and not even aware of how you affect other people? Or are you aware and saying, you know what, I feel really pissed off today. I'm just going to go get what I need to get, and I'm going to get out, and I'm not going to talk to anybody. I'm going to be really, really mindful of how I navigate the store, because I know people are going to be really frustrated too. And if I hit these frustrated people, I'm going to blow my mind. But if you know you're already pissed off and you just pay attention, you get in and you get out, now you've automatically brought yourself one rung up, because you were mindful, because you paid attention, because you were aware. That little thing just made the world a little bit higher in frequency. And isn't that what we're trying to do here? Holy Moses, I get all crazy with this stuff. Okay, not crazy, but really amped up. The physical, how does this look in the physical world? Earth is coming up. Earth is pulsating. Pulse of the mother. Slow down. Have time in nature. The other thing that's coming to me at the moment is just pay attention to what you see going on around the world with Mother Earth. She's rumbling. Volcanoes are erupting. She's pulsating as she's birthing this new earth as well, right? Consciously, we are helping her, but physically, she's the one carrying us all into this new realm, this new frequency, this new 5D frequency. Therefore, she's got to you shake when you give birth, it's again messy, and it's a violent, it's a traumatic physical thing. So the earth is going to be shaking and pulsing, and just simply be in the presence of your feelings so that when you see this happen, you're like, oh my God, not this now. The earth's ending and this is the apocalypse. And, don't panic. From this point on, experiment, pay attention, put all the connected dots. What we talk about energetically here, then start to observe what's going on in the world, in world news, and look all over the place for world news. Don't just go to, the Main Street stuff. You guys, come on. We are smarter than that. We know we're not getting fully factual news there. It's been known, that's been known for forever. My whole life, I've kind of known that. So if I've done that, I'm sure you have too. But get outside, look for, don't go on Google, go on other things, look up DuckDuckGo. Go to DuckDuckGo and then do a search for uncensored news. And you decide what feels truthful to you. But when you start matching up what's going on politically, financially, around the world, environmentally, and then energetically, and you start connecting these dots, it all is interesting. And that is what we're here to do, is just raise awareness to just things getting a little bit clearer, raising your perspective, making that perspective higher. How do you do that? By raising up your frequency. The higher you can raise your frequency into these expanding emotions and living from that operating space energetically, you then consciously expand. So your perspective becomes wider. And when your perspective is wider, the interesting thing is that you start to see more, connect more. You see how all of this stuff connects, and it's fascinating. And what it all boils down to is the energy, the frequency that's creating all of it. So if we all just start tuning into our frequency, this is all going to be taken care of in the 5D form, because 5D is that higher frequencies. The operating energy of 5D is literally in this space. The 3D world in which we have been only limited to here on Earth. Actually, I think it's 4D. Somebody correct me on that. But obviously 3D is where we have mostly been as a collective. There may have been some people, I do believe 4D was still available for us. And now 5D is available for us in physical form. But 3D world is based on fear, right? 3D is all about the frequency of fear. And you can call that what? Control, manipulation, all of that lies in there. That way, that's what we created. We created all of our systems, all of our schools, everything based on this frequency. So we have to birth a whole new frequency first, so that we can then rebuild those systems in a higher level of vibration, a higher frequency, which will then put us in a life expansive world for humanity to live in. And we wonder why we've been so limited, because everything was created from here. You can't create shit that you love from fear. You have got to get here and create from here. That's what we're doing on these daily tune-ins. So join me so that we can all get tuned up, tuned in, and then we can ascend into these higher levels of being. So just to take it a little bit further, we know that Earth is a really big theme over here. We're going to go a little bit deeper into the messenger, a further intention, to take the intention of prosperity. We remember the ultimate idea here is prosperity. And then we have the messenger. There's another idea underneath here. And this is bringing harmony and balance. So that obviously means bringing more harmony and balance to your own life. But also first, it starts within. Where are you out of balance within? What are you back and forth on? There's something in your life. We're all clearing a lot of densities and darknesses and those frustrations in our lives. They're getting really intense right now. They're getting really loud. If you have relationships that are out of balance, and they're getting more, they're going to feel more painful in this time frame. It's going to feel like, God, this relationship. I just feel like, it just keeps happening. And that's going to keep happening and happening more and more, because we are being forced, as we birth this new earth, we are being forced almost pretty much to clear the densities. purging those densities from our energetic fields. The messenger here is your heart. When you keep seeing a pattern of something feeling dense or frustrating in your life, you're now being called to choose. Do you want peace and harmony in this, and balance and harmony, or otherwise it's going to be the 3D version all the time, and you're going to feel this frustration constantly. It's going to get real painful. So in order to have balance, it means we got to put our big girl panties on, our big boy panties on, step into the unknown and just say, I am no longer accepting this frustration in my life. What does that mean? That is then your choice, your journey. Do you remove people or things, or, how do you then create balance? That has to happen within, then it has to happen without, which it will in your outer, which will then clear a lot of that and purge a lot of that density and those distortions that are causing us to be out of balance. So I'm calling in all the updated codes for us right here, right now, to call in all the codes to bring us into an updated version of our energetic health, and as well as harmony and balance. Whatever needs to be cleared to create the harmony and balance, we simply ask these guides, ask our guides, our light beings, all of them, to download all of the peace and harmony and all the ways that means that we create that. And be prepared that you might have to purge and clear any other distortions that are creating disharmony. Okay, so that will clear some dis-ease as well. I'm going to recommend, since we just did some purging there, that you do drink a lot of water today, because you will. We want to purge out some of that energy. And I'm just doing real subtle hypnotherapy techniques to disrupt energy, which is what this is all about. When you're not expecting it, disrupts the energy. That way, it can clear and purge out of your energetic field. And then if there's anything that comes up that's beautiful, I'll anchor that into our fields as well. So this is a collective energy healing, as well as kind of a message. The other piece to remember in your heart chakra is the Earth School piece. Life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. Study doesn't always mean you have to go to school. Okay, so if there's something on your mind that you're like, I'd love to learn more about that, understand that education is on the internet now, and it is up to you to discern what is truthful and what might be bull crap in whatever it is that you're learning. Your intuition. We talk about baby steps. Feel into, what are you wanting to study? What are you being called to study about? And start studying it. There's so many different resources in learning something, unless it's, you want to do something, you need a certification. But right now, just really, we're being guided to get real deep into knowledge. Following what might not feel right to you, what might not right, what might not feel truthful to you. They're saying to trust that. And you're in Earth School. This is a school, and you get to choose how you learn. Therefore, it's really important that if anything feels off to you today, you see something, you see a post, you see an article, you see something, and you're like, gosh, that doesn't sound right, or it doesn't feel right. We are being guided to trust the intuition, go into the Earth School, and start learning and researching and finding the truth around what it is that feels untruthful to you. That's really important right now. And that's what we're really being called to do, because untruths don't come to the new Earth. Only the truth comes, because the truth operates in these higher levels of existence. So untruths are way down here, because what do they fall under? Fear, manipulation, lies, control, all of it. Therefore, to really pay attention. And at the end of the day, what the final thought in the physical form is, fall into my arms, surrender the extremes of life. We are going to be living in a time here with the extremes. There's going to be extreme highs as we start to tune in and start to experience higher levels of peace, joy, bliss, love, happiness. But there's also the extreme where we're going to see, suffering in the world. And when we are tuned into our hearts, we will understand through baby steps what is ours to do in that moment. We don't have to go out and save the world like, Joan of Arc style, unless that's what you're called to do. We can still live the service of Joan of Arc, so to speak, by being in service to ourselves in every moment of every day. Because when we do that, we are then aware and we are in that present moment, which then comes into the frequency of the physical world in that moment. And in that moment, then that goes out into the physical world and starts to co-create into something. And as long as you are operating in every present moment in these higher frequencies, whatever energy you create in that moment, whether it's a meal, whether it's an intention to bless the world, whether it's to go to work, that is all going to express itself in the physical world in those higher level of frequencies. And that's what we're here to do. That is today's daily tune-up. I'm extremely, extremely grateful for you to be here. If you have any dis-ease in your life, I am a healer. I'm a healer of perception. I've had actually a client call me an alchemist of transformation in how I approach dis-ease in the hearts of many of my clients. If you have a heavy heart, just let's have a conversation. You can learn all about myself, what I'm about. You can learn more about the Ascension Network and join our Abundance Codes activations every Wednesday evening. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that every day you'll be notified when we're doing this little gathering. Thanks for being here. You can learn more at videttemeyer.com. I love you all, and thanks for your patience as I grow.